over the man on the mark. Hall, bustling up on the forward line. The kick towards half forward. Nearly the mark taken by Harvey. Hardwick gathers. Kicks across his left shoulder, and the mark will be taken here by Hutchton, who is surely playing across the half-back line. Ball out to Carr. Carr to Francis. Francis to the 50-metre line. Chance for Hutchton again. Can he get past? He can. Thompson's left foot snap for the Saints is a beauty. Everett Thompson goal.
Everett, Eastor. Walton can't go far. Mercedes hands and knees. Everett well played, but cut off also. Little give by Walton was good. Everett releases Harvey. That's danger. Harvey on the burst to Barry Hall. Not a good kick. Half volley by Hall. Wallace couldn't put an effective tackle on.
High tackle.
High tackle advantage given to Francis. Francis goes to Heatley at full forward. Coming across was Rioli. Didn't take the mark. Pick it back. Tony Brown left foot. Close. Very close. It's a goal. So Brown answers.
Lowe and Wellman to the back of the pack. McLaren over the top there of Solomon. Ball spills out wide. Harvey gets back onto the right, and then unselfishly and quite strategically in the finish gets the ball to Lowe.
What at here tonight?
Well, he's going directly towards goal with the drop punt. If he kicks accurately, it looks good. Scores a level. So
Barry Hall, he squeezed his kick cleverly. Simons took his eye off it. He's going to get a kick away, but gee, that's untidy football. Peckett can make him pay.
Yes, he just panicked a little, didn't he, Michael Simons? And Peckett goes long, a beautiful kick. That's the difference. Good kick by Peckett, poor kick by Simons. Gee, is that a good kick by Justin Peckett?
And isn't that just an unfortunate piece of play from Michael Simons? You've got to wonder if the runner's going to head straight out there. Initially fumbled a simple chest mark. Then when he went to pick it up, he had it spent before he got it and somehow had it caught between his legs. Tried to kick off only one step. That's the worst thing he can do. Stubbed his foot, and Peckett ran his full 10 or 15 and finished beautifully.
Low. Wellman, Low, clearly. Burke running onto it. Burke with pace, accelerates, 45 metres out. Nathan Burke has kicked a ripper. Well, he's known for a lot of things in footy. That's not one of them.
Gets it to Ramanauskas. Ramanauskas kicks it straight back to St Kilda, where Harvey is marked, and kicks it to half forward, where Francis is marked. Francis too far out to score. Left foot kick by Tony Francis across the half forward line, and it's been marked there by the bustler. From Hall. This is a lovely long kick this time by Hall. It's a goal. The furthest out he's been. After 4 opportunities, he'll get away from their full back line through McLaren.
At half back now. Little chip kick is a beauty to Trinides. Trinides away. Goal here is going to really hurt the Bombers. Wallace and Hall. Barry's got it. It's a terrific one-on-one mark, that one.
Essendon from their half-time result. Young from centre wing. Young's kick into the pocket. Running onto the football is Trinides. Keeps it in play and then hooks the kick. High to the goal square. Getting back is Barnard. Mitchell hasn't had much of the footy. Doolan kicks towards the half-forward area. Is that a mark? Yes, it's been paid to Hall. Barry Hall, only 30 metres out directly in front. He's had 5 shots at goal, going for his second goal. And quite emphatically pumps it through and pumps his fists in the air. 2 goals.
To see the spot, Everett's back in the ruck, and Timmy Watson just asked for his big fella just to give him one more big last quarter. He did spend much of that third quarter on the bench.
So he should be pretty fresh here, Everett, as we start the final term on Friday night footy. Thompson to Harvey. The Saints are away. Harvey's kicked to half forward. Heatley going early. Barnard Trinides sits, waits. Barnard was good. Went for the mark and then butted up with a terrific tackle. And it's a bounce 45 metres from St Kilda's goal. Heatley and Barnard. Carr coming off, so maybe a wrong matchup. Elliott coming on. Or maybe to confuse. Quick kick forward by the Saints to full forward. It's at the post. Not sure if Barry got a hand to it. The kick coming in from low. Thanks for that, Robbo. And it's 7-11 to 4-9. Well, Tim Watson, use of Lowe, Burke and Harvey, much discussed this year, is proving to be astute as we get a third of the way into this season.
No one cares how you get the 4 points, Bruce. So I suppose at the end of the penny section, you've got to win enough games to make the 8, and that's what he's after at this stage. Tony Brown goes for goal, doesn't hook the kick anywhere near the required margin, scores a behind. So another fresh player, Tony Brown, hasn't had much ground time, and the Bombers bench dipper.
On the Bombers bench, we've got Michael Simons, Peter Burkhoff, as we've spoken about in the room, Ben Doolan and Blake Carousella.
The kick out in the area of Ramanauskas. Heatley, but Ramanauskas does pretty well for a youngster. Showed a bit of composure, but let himself down with his disposal. And Jason, you've spoken about that all night.
It's been terrible, and that was just another glaring example.
And Hudson does exactly the opposite. Pinpoints Trianides from about 45, then Trianides' kick is good too. He's a left footer, and his right foot pass was terrific for Barry Hall, and Hall to shoot from 50 metres once again.
And you'd have to think if St Kilda can get the first goal on the board here, as we just see Trianides feign to go one way and deliver beautifully on the opposite foot. If they can kick the first goal, you'd have to seriously doubt Essendon's ability to more than double their score in this last quarter.
You classify that kick from Trianides as an outswinger or an in-swinger?
It did a bit
beautifully.
It did a bit.
Tricked everyone except big, bad, bustling Barry Hall from 50 metres. Going for goal number 3. He's done it from the other end, and I tell you what, he's done it from the Richmond end. He's kicked 3. He has had, I think, Bruce, you've alluded to it for most of the evening, incredible presence.
He's been just a great focal point up forward for them in the last few weeks. He's gaining in confidence every week. He's starting to lead strongly. He's holding more of those marks that he gets his hands to. And even at 3-4, he could have 5 or 6 next to his name. Probably putting St Kilda in just about an unbeatable position.
Big game from the big man. 3 goals in the context of this match is a very big result.
Look at that smile.
And don't they come in and love him afterwards. Harvey again, runs a long way, chips to Barry, and he's no, too far that time. Hall underneath it. Lenny Hayes has had very little on-field time in the pocket. Trianides in quickly. Can't Trianides get to a contest in a hurry? He's like a cat, isn't he? I think he's made a big impact on Tim Watson this year. He thinks this fellow can really play.
It's just one of those that gets another yard of pace when the ball's around his area.
Wellman and Lowe. Bombers stuck. Can't get anything to happen. Thompson, Lowe's won most of those tap-outs. Mercedes in there. Thompson, Trianides, and again a ball up. 8-12 to 4-9.
Harvey important with a couple of centre clearances. Bruce looks as though he's certainly committed himself to lifting the Saints in the early part of the quarter.
Gee, went early East or low, little squeezy to fall forward, bouncing ball. Wallace just pushed forward. Mitchell's had little impact. Thompson, the kick across the body and a behind. 8-13 to 4-9. Another little subplot to this game, and we shouldn't be saying it's over because it's far from it. 115% the Bombers, 101 the Saints. Low scoring game, you can have a big change in percentage. If the Saints could kick 3 or 4 and the Bombers not answer, they could actually finish above the Bombers on the ladder tonight.
Well, after a pretty ordinary start to the season, Tim Watson has done a fairly good job, you would think. I think he'd be pretty happy if they can finish up after 8 matches. What will it be, 5-3? Now Eastor with the football behind centre wing. Lopes down the ground and kicks in the direction of and finds Lloyd. Lloyd with a player running, but Alessio decides to go back to Lloyd. Lloyd's left foot kick across half. Oh, wasn't that good? Gee, Nathan Burke is a pro. Releases Tony Brown and then kicks the ball towards half forward or Hall. Maybe flirting a bit with his form there. Wallace, is that deemed as a throw? He scooped the ball off the ground.
He seems to go for marks on his chest all the time.
Sorry, Dip, go.
The big fella seems to go for chest marks all the time. Sometimes you've got to grab him in front of his hands. In the bench, he's Matthew Carr, Tony Francis, Joe McLaren and Ben Walton. He's got to grab in his hands, not in the chest.
Well, I'm sure that that'll be brought to his notice. Low, powerfully, Zilla quickly on into the path there of Thompson. I think he's been terrific, Andrew Thompson, tonight. He just a great work rate, 18 possessions. And the St Kilda coach, well, he's not like the cat that got the milk yet, but he's not far away from it. His side leads 61-33. Just statistically, it's impossible for Essendon. They've only kicked 4 goals, 9 so far in the game, and they've got to kick 4 goals, 5 to nothing to win the game. Long toe pokes it in front of himself. Ryan, ever diligent, well done. I'm sure that little passage of play will be replayed on the video at training during the week, because Damien Ryan was outnumbered 1-3 and he forced a boundary throw in.
Centre wing. Low scoring match. I think coming here tonight, someone had said it'll be 8-4 into the last quarter. You would have thought, well, it must have been pouring rain all night. Peckett, centre wing, high ball to half forward, low front spot. Wellman, good contest. Brown, handball weighted beautifully for Thompson. He is elusive. Thompson's kick to the forward 20. Heatley, juggle, no mark, good decision. Wallace did well to Barnard. Barnard belts it really to space, just hoping. There's nobody there at all. Somebody has to work here for the Bombers. Trianides, Lloyd's coming from nowhere to come at him. Trianides would have been tired, got it to Wakeland, got it to Elliott. Elliott kicks high to centre half forward, long call for it, belted away, and I think he's going to get a free kick against Zilla. Or was it Mitchell? Maybe Zilla. Back to Michael Long.
Paid for contact from the front, which is an interesting one, because I really don't think anybody had any intention other than to contest the footy.
Long's kick to centre wing. Hall getting back on Blumfield. Solomon's little toe poke. Still Solomon. Burke. Still Burke and Solomon. Good contest. Solomon went without it. Burke's with him. Gee, the Saints are going to give him a cheer. Nathan Burke, as he holds them up. Play on. Peckett. Back turn. Caught up by Blumfield. Ball up. Terrific contest. Burke did well. So does Solomon. Blumfield coming in. There he is. Oh, don't you love him?
He's a sensation, Nathan Burke.
As Jason said, when you're picking a team, he'd just about be the first bloke you'd write down.
Yes, he's a tremendous player, captain of the St Kilda Footy Club, and he leads very much from the front. Brown receiving from Harvey, gets it to Zilla. Zilla uses his explosion there to get away, and then kicks the ball to Heatley. Heatley is 50 metres from goal. Plays on, kicks into the pocket. Mitchell. Well, difficult angle here for Mitchell. He's in the right forward pocket. He's a natural right foot kick. Gavin Mitchell yet to score in the game. He's been on the bench a little bit tonight. Just coming up for his 4th kick, but it'll snuff it out as far as the Bombers are concerned if he can kick accurately here. Close to the boundary line. Shoots for goal. Kicks it across the face. It's out on the full. So free kick for Essendon to be taken back there by Alessio. Umpire just asking Peter Everett to come back a metre or so on the mark. Alessio for Essendon. Kicks a fairly ordinary old punt kick out towards half-back. Eastall dispossessed by Elliott. Hudson wider to Lowe, trying to get into the goal-kicking action as Stuart Lowe. Kicks to the front of the goals. Everett tries to get rid of Alessio. Mitchell swooping on it. Couldn't get enough space there to squeeze a kick out. Smothered off the boot. Rolls over for a throw in right forward pocket. Everett there, just getting the ball down to the front of the pack. Mitchell swooping on it. The kick smothered off the boot probably there by Damien Hardwick. He's dumped as he kicked the ball. So the ball thrown in the right forward pocket. Hall just cleared there by Alessio. Brown gets the handball away. Buick to Long. Long to screen down the ground. Just a little unsure, wasn't he? Gave it back to Buick. Buick drop punt kick towards the half forward area. Rioli, it bounces away from there and Peckett gathers.
Peckett wide to Harvey with some space here. Again, the disposal from the Bombers disappointing. Everett underneath it. Bombers come in hard. Young tries to break the tackle. Rioli did well. Low onto him. Rioli, Masidi. Rioli should get a free kick. Held on to, not paid. Peckett's handball over the top to Thompson. Thompson with space. 80 metres from goal. Heatley, no, not that far. Low. A couple of players go to ground. Over the top, Pryor. Now Barry Hall. With him Doolan. Hall and Doolan and Blumfield. Boundary throw in.
Bruce, interesting, we saw Robert Harvey early on in that passage of play. Kevin Sheedy's released the tag on him. Mercury on him now and playing wide.
So Sheed's trying a few things late. Harvey's impact since the big crunch bunt hasn't been as much. Moorcroft on him in the second quarter, but he still had a big match. He was dominating till then. Masidi, Francis put Mercury out of it, gave it to Brown. Thompson delivers, cut off though, and marked by Lucas, who really has struggled. He's struggled for a lot of this season.
Some ironical cheers there too.
He kicked 18 goals after 7 matches last year. He's kicked 8 so far this season. Well played Long, Mercury, to Wallace, to Blumfield, to Long. Last roll of the dice, you'd reckon. They've got to get a goal out of this. Rioli's got it. Well played Long. Must kick a goal from this attack. There is time. The margin is not great. We may be searching.
I think
hoping.
I think we're definitely searching. Good disposal from Michael Long. He had Matthew Lloyd leading back towards the goal square, but he saw Den Rioli with a bit of space. Still going to take a good kick from just inside 50.
He is a goal kicker. It's a good one. He's kicked it. Well, you never know. You never know. If it was 89 to 110 or something, you give them a chance. It's just that they haven't been able to kick any goals.
Just haven't looked likely to string a few together. Great play from Dean Wallace. He knew that he had a teammate loose inside, so he just tapped the ball out in front of him. Michael Long hasn't had much of a night tonight. He'd be pretty disappointed with the performance, but good disposal on that occasion. And a fantastic goal from Den Rioli. A glimmer of hope at best.
Essendon 2 goals in the first term, 1 in each of the second, third, and so far 1 in the fourth quarter. They trail by 22 points. Low gets the ball clear. Harvey away from Doolan. No, it wasn't a bad hand pass to finish. Mitchell was behind him. Mitchell shot at goal. Spider, no! Barry Hall's got it. Spider did some good work there because the player from behind who was going to get into the action, maybe to take the mark or punch it away, from an Essendon point of view, it might have been Lucas, and Everett just getting in his way allows Hall the space to take the mark and shoot for his 4th goal, which certainly will be some sort of an effort towards St Kilda's intentions of winning this game. The screw punt kick looks pretty good. It's a goal. It's a beauty. Wally had 1 goal for against his name. He's now got 4 goals for.
And didn't you just have a feeling when he was lining up from the pocket there and he shaped for the check side, you thought, well, he's kicked a couple of rippers from 50, he's missed a couple of easy ones. It was a good strong mark in front of the pack, and he saved his best for this last quarter. That was just a beauty. Gave himself a little bit of an angle, ran infield, plenty of bend on the ball, and no wonder Barry was pretty pleased with that effort. What a beauty. Look at the grin on his face.
The legend is growing.
It is.
He's kicked all of St Kilda's 4 goals since half-time. He's been their only goal scorer since half-time. Big bad, how do you say it, Robbo?
Big bad bustling Barry Hall.
9-13 to 5-9. I reckon he might get into the votes, though we can't do that to you, Jason.
Stop saying that, Bruce.
Zilla to Buick.
He's got 3 off me.
Forward. Thanks, Dipper. Rioli. Run down and caught holding the footy.
Dean Wallace now playing full 4 for Essendon. Blumfield's now picking up Hall. That's a good move by the Sheeds there. He's trying to get the 4-line moving.
Matthew Young has been good.
It was a good tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good tackle. Masidi to Wallace has got him. Well, this would be some irony in this, wouldn't it, if Wallace immediately could go down and kick a goal at the other end. He battled against Hall in the first half. Probably at half-time 50-50, but well, Hall's won by a knockout after that, hasn't he?
Oh, he has. He always looked to be fighting an uphill battle against Barry Hall. Maybe he'll have a change of luck at the other end, finish with a couple of goals. Certainly needs to get involved in the game, and this is a good opportunity to do it.
Ever guess who's coming down to try and talk him out of kicking this goal?
Oh, look at Barry. He'd be having a good chat to him, wouldn't he? Look at this. What do you reckon he's saying, Robert?
Oh,
50 metres out.
Oh, he got him too.
Wallace has hooked it. Belts it away towards the line. Rioli. Handball back to Michael Long. Long. Kick is a good one to Alessio, who certainly is in the position to kick a goal.
Well, Essendon fans obviously haven't given up, Bruce. There's still a fair amount of noise coming from their quarter.
We've spoken about the disappointing night that Michael Long's had, but just in the last quarter, a couple of good disposals. He's just had a good look. He's picked holes where there didn't seem to be much space, and he found Steve Alessio directly in front.
Gee, it's a funny old kick, but it's a goal.
Oh.
That's all that counts. Boy, that ball went everywhere.
Helicopter.
You've said it a few times, Robbo, it doesn't have to be pretty. There was nothing pretty about that. It nearly went in end over end, I reckon, that one.
The helicopter.
He put everything on that.
Wouldn't have gone more than 30-odd metres, that one, but look at this play. Rioli keeping the ball in. Good slick handball out to Michael Long, and that's a beautiful little spot into space, 30 metres out directly in front. Have a look at the way this ball floats. Oh.
So back at the centre, 22 points the margin once again. St Kilda 67 to 45. Trying to break away with Zilla. Little toe poke by Wellman. On the end of it is Long. Trying to lift his side. Wellman will kick a goal, won't he? Sean Wellman will love this. So will the Bombers supporters. A quick goal to the Bombers.
Tell you what, Robbo, the Barry Hall goal at the other end becomes pretty important, the check side, doesn't it?
Yes, my word. It's only 16 points. It was 16 at half-time.
And I'll tell you who's got himself really fired up, Michael Long. He has just had 3 touches in this last quarter that have led to goals. That's a great pickup. He found Wellman on his own. And don't the backmen love it? Running down and kicking a goal. And all of a sudden, in a game that looked long gone, we have life. Still with just under 8.5 minutes to go.
When's the last time they put 2 goals together? I think it was they got the second and third goal, but there was a quarter-time break in between it all. Wonderful play by Long. The pickup was hard, and he got it. 7-9, 9-13. Everett belting. Zilla around the body. Centre half forward. They've had all the answers. The Saints all night. Will they do it again? Lucas goes to ground. Must try and release it. Ball up. 51 to 67.
And Mark McCurry should have got a free kick in that little contest there. He was being held back by his opponent, which the umpire just wasn't in the right position to see, unfortunately.
Robert Harvey's been placed on Michael Long now.
Thanks, Dipper. Ball going forward. Zilla kept his head over it. Barnard toe poke only as far as Mitchell. Zilla in there. A real fight. Saints know one more goal puts the Bombers out of its misery.
Yep.
And the Bombers know if they can hold it here and get another one themselves at the other end, then this is tightening. 7-9, 9-13. It's been a strange old night. Bad bounce. Low. Still low. Hooking back and a behind. A good result, I think, for the Bombers. They have a chance now to set something up. It's been pretty good low. Been a big crowd. 62,928. That is the biggest crowd we've had on a Friday night this year. Well, big kick, sorry.
The breeze has certainly picked up in the last 3 or 4 minutes too, Bruce. It's howling down here.
Which way, Dipper?
Every way.
Thank you. That helps. Alessio, Barnard, little give was good. Masiti, a bounce. Cocky.
He certainly was, Joe Masidi, but he's kicked it straight to the opposition, nearly. Hudson forcing a contest, Rioli. Now the bounce of the ball a bit awkward for the Saints. Too high there on Damien Ryan.
A little bit over anxious, Matty Lloyd. He just jumped into that tackle, and that's not what the Bombers needed. They had the Saints under pressure, and this is a pretty important free kick. Just gives them a chance to settle, waste a bit more time, keep possession of the ball.
Mitchell off the ground, and McLaren replaces Gavin Mitchell, and that is what Damien Ryan sees. Lowe tried to mark the awkward ball as it was floating towards the ground level. a bit of anxiety, but they still control the match. They lead by 16 points. We've got 7 minutes left. 17 points the margin in favour of St Kilda. The ball just forward of the wing, favouring the Bombers. Eastow beaten for it on this occasion by Lowe. Gathered here by Mercedes. Good hand pass, long again. Favoured left foot. Kicks to the centre-half forward position. Rioli could have nearly taken the mark there. Young. The ball comes to Wakeland.
Have a look at the space. Peter
Wakeland's
Everett's
got a chance here. Everett's a mile out in the clear.
Count the bounce.
He's about 35 metres. Closest player to him is Jeff Wallace, who was chasing. Gets all the way up to half forward, then kicks towards full forward. Good mark taken by Barnard away from Heatley. Jason Heatley yet to kick a goal, so Barnard has done quite nicely. Back there at full-back, Lucas. They can go down the ground now. The Bombers on the other side. To Alessio. Alessio to Lloyd. And couldn't take the mark. Bouncing just as he went to put his arms underneath it. It bounced away from Matthew Lloyd over for a boundary throw-in.
Probably just made the wrong decision there. He had a few yards space. If he could have just kept his feet, allowed the ball to bounce into his arms, he might have been able to turn and fashion something for the Bombers.
Half forward, left. Big chance here for the Bombers. I know they're a long way from home, but you feel the Saints have tightened a bit. Ruckman couldn't get at it. Peckett stretches his opponents. Good kick. A defensive tight kick, and Brown was in the right spot. Harvey to half forward. This could be the ball game. He's got a vacant goal square. Hall can go long. Lenny Hayes is a target. Big play here. Hayes in the pocket. Bouncing ball. Bouncing ball.
Oh.
Hayes has got it. Hayes caught. Goes to ground. Back to Heatley. Heatley hooks it and misses. That was strange on a strange night.
How that ball stayed in and didn't go through for a point, I'll never know. Lenny Hayes picked it up. He got slung for what seemed an eternity. Actually got slung clear from the contest. That looked like it might have nearly been a point. Actually got launched out of the contest, hung onto the ball, handball to Heatley, and he had a chance to seal it.
3-goal game. Pryor kicks wide.
Kicks it out to a one-on-one with Peckett. Knocked away by Lloyd. Tried to get it down to Doolan. Now Tony Brown and Lloyd. Still Francis, dispossessed. Thompson shrugs the tackle. Francis, good hand pass. Brown can seal it. Tony Brown running in. Kicks to the goal front. Low going with the momentum with Lucas. Couldn't control the mark. It hurried through for what may be a very important behind.
Robbo, down the other end, Tim Watson's matching his old coach with the moves from left field. Spider Everett's at full back on Dean Wallace.
That behind there stretches the lead now to 19 points. 5 minutes left.
Pryor forced really to take a chance here. It's in the centre. Buick's had a good second half. Squeezes to centre wing. Mercury and Burke. Mercury cleverly. Eastwood couldn't get down low enough. He had to hold it. Taken by Blumfield. Long's played a wonderful last quarter against the odds. Squeezes to centre half forward. It is the last roll of the dice. Lloyd's been disappointing. He's had a very ordinary night, and that's not good enough.
And again, I don't think Matthew Lloyd was the player doing the holding then. I think he was actually being...
If you're right, John, I've been hard on the kid, but he has not had a big one.
No.
It doesn't happen every week. Even the champs have a bad one, don't they?
They certainly do, Bruce. You've got to feel for him.
Everett, beautiful kick off the boot. Well, Hardwick penalised. Hayes kicks to full forward. Heatley marks. The Saints are home.
Smart play by Hayes there.
It certainly looked to be a short pass to a contested, a contest between two players, but he really didn't have an option. It would have been a miracle goal if he had have unloaded for a shot. And he just saw Barnard stumble late, put it out in front of Heatley, and look, you'd expect him to kick this, but it seems his time has run out for the Bombers.
Well, it'll be a huge injustice if they won tonight.
Oh, highway robbery.
The great escape. He's kicked the goal. Well, Heatley's had to wait a while. Lloyd goaled very early in the match, and Heatley's had to get very deep into the last quarter before he kicks his first. Barry Hall's got some company now as a goal kicker in the second half.
And certainly both full forwards have spent a little bit of time on the bench tonight. Jason Heatley hasn't had one of the most memorable nights either, matching Matthew Lloyd's at the other end, but he'd be happy to finish with a goal there.
And you'd have to think that most of those people leaving the ground would be Essendon supporters.
We've gone past the 1 million in terms of attendance. Have seen home and away football games at the MCG this year. Over 1 million people have been to the MCG this year already.
Well, you'd have to say that the AFL are doing everything right in running this magnificent competition that we have, Australian rules football. Darren Buick tries to break away. Following up from his ruck contest, Simon Eastaugh, his kick towards full forward. Lloyd jumped a mile too early. Matthew Young gets back, tries to mop up, gets the hand pass wide. McLaren gets it out wide to Peckett. Peckett, who usually uses the football pretty well. This is no exception. Francis, he's felled there by Pryor. Probably didn't take the mark. What do you see that as, John?
I was paid because the umpire considered that Pryor's prime objective wasn't to contest the ball, but rather to contest Francis. So all the body contact with Francis to make sure he couldn't take the mark.
A little bit of frustration there by Steve Alessio too, as Everett took the mark. Just gave him a little quelt behind the ear. Doesn't bother the big spider all that much. Herky kicks in towards the forward pocket and getting his hands to the football. Hayes couldn't control it. Boundary throw in. Wallace off the ground for the remaining 3 minutes of the game. Lucas and Lowe to contest this boundary throw in.
Saints attacking. Thompson, who's been terrific. Francis didn't take it. Back to Thompson, to Harvey, to Hayes. Hayes back to his, I was going to say his left foot, but he holds it up. Everett, within kicking distance, the big fellow. Everett, Hall, Lowe, Elliott. There's some firepower, there's some strength, there's some height.
You wouldn't say that Peter Everett's been outstanding tonight, but he's certainly played a serviceable game. He's been very good at the centre squares. He's only taken 4 marks around the ground. Chance to finish with a goal here, which he'd be pretty keen to do, I would think.
It's coming back. It's a beautiful kick. What a goal. Well, off the boot, it was sort of just in play for a while, and then
it was actually threatening to go out on the full.
I think, to use Jason's terminology, it did a bit in the air.
Oh, did he bring that back?
Well, that's topped off. As you say, it hasn't been a super night, but at the end of the day, it's been a pretty good evening.
He's just slowly getting back into form after that 4-week spell out of the game. You just can't turn on and off the form like a switch. It takes a while to get a bit of match conditioning back, and he's getting it tonight.
Well, the goal kicker, Peter Everett, back in the centre to contest this centre bounce, and he gets a right fist to it. Belts it clear. Thompson's been terrific. Hudson and Hall. Well, that was basically a practice run, wasn't it? Big Peter Everett got the right fist to it, and Michael Long coming off the ground. Just a minute and a half left. He's put a big effort into this last term, Michael Long, to try and lift his side. The football is with Barry Hall. He could be, well, he's the only man that has kicked any more than 1 goal in the game. He's kicked 4 goals for. The 4 behinds that he's kicked could quite easily have been goals. He's kicked 5 goals for. Well, he must feature, I would say, Jason, just by the fact that he hasn't had a lot of football, has he? 14 touches, 11 marks, but 5 goals in a low-scoring game, 5 out of 12 when the opposition have kicked 7, certainly must rate him as one of the 3 best men on the ground.
Gee, you've made my job tough now, Rob, haven't you?
5 goals to Hall. As Robbo said, nobody else has kicked more than 1 out there tonight. 7-9 to 12-16. Well, Dean Wallace resumes contact with him. after having a bit of a break. Burke through the centre. Wonderful! Well, that was textbook. Let's hope that Lowe can finish it off. I think the scoreboard now tells a true story.
It certainly does, and you said earlier on the night that playing in the back line's left a bit of petrol in the tank. Didn't he put the foot down when he had to there? Absolutely burst through a gap in the middle of the ground, and that was a real worm burner.
He's just not getting crunched like, he's been getting crunched for 10 years, and Watson's released him to a position where he's not. Low, straight in front. A bit of icing on the cake. And watch out that the Saints aren't above the Bombers by the end of the night. They'll be pretty close now. 13-16 to 7-9. There's some worries for Kevin Sheedy and his men, I reckon, after the night.
Yeah, there certainly would be. I mean, it was only a matter of 5 or 6 minutes ago that the margin was 16 points. All of a sudden, it's 43, turning into a percentage booster for the Saints.
Essendon coach's box. Sorry lot. Saints have kicked the last 4 goals in just 6 minutes, so that's the reason that the scorecard looks very lopsided. They'll go forward again, St Kilda. Everett kicks across the face. Hardwick knocks the ball away. Hayes onto it. Ducks back onto his left, then back onto his right. Shrugs the tackle. Kick a goal, son. No, he unselfishly gets it to Lowe. Now what happened there? The siren sounded, I think.
Yep.
Just before Stuart Lowe took the mark. So the umpire controlling that part of the ground is indicating that the mark will not be paid. Stuart Lowe. Robert Harvey there just getting some help from his teammates. He did work hard and he copped a few batterings during the game, but just watching here, that was how Harvey was knocked about in his endeavours maybe to take the ball away from Stuart Lowe. Don't get much of a chance like that, but the game is over. Robert Harvey, big smile. Tim Watson, successful once again in season 1999, and in the finish, a very, very healthy win to St Kilda, 94 to 51.
They'll be pleased with that. They haven't been beaten in Victoria this year. Their defeats have been in Brisbane, Adelaide and Sydney. Well, big bad bustling. Good on you, Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bruce. Well, centre half forwards a very tough position, but tonight, mate, you did with class. Fantastic game.
Oh yeah, it's good just to get a bit of consistency in the game at the moment, and if I can push on and make good year of it.
Now, well, the conditions are pretty difficult for kicking goals tonight.
Oh yeah, I should have kicked a lot more than I did, but you know, the wind is very, very swirly around here, so it's hard to kick goals, yeah.
It's an important win from the Saints. You're starting to get a bit of a roll now.
Oh, definitely. Like, start of the year, we'll win one, lose one, win one, lose one. And it's just good to get on a roll, and, you know, it's going to give us a good stead for the finals.
Now, Wallace was shooting for a goal. What did you say to Wallace when he's shooting for goal?
What's on the field, starting the field, mate. You know.
Hey, good on you, mate. Well played tonight. Well done, mate. You got my votes, Barry. Don't worry about that.
Thanks, Dipper. Kevin Sheedy, the newsmaker for tonight, with Mark Doran.
Thanks, Bruce. Well, Kevin, the apprentice has got one up on the master. You could have done with Tim Watson as a player tonight.
Oh, well, he was a great player, there's no doubt about that. But look, I thought we were coming back there for a while in that last quarter. And possibly could have made something of the game. Very disappointing early, but, you know, to allow them to get those last 4 goals really was a very frustrating and annoying part of our game.
You had to spin your forward line around to try and produce something.
Well, we had to get 1 or 2 down the back line just to assist, because even in the first half, we were not getting the ball into our 50 well enough. I think it was 5 to 17 in the second quarter alone. We were very lucky to be just 5 goals to 3 at half time.
Tim looks like he's got some good cattle to work with. Did he surprise you with anything he did tonight?
Oh no, but I think he's got a very good blend of players. He's got a very experienced. They're probably a little bit more experienced in some areas at the top end of the player list at the moment. But you know, we'll get back. It's 5 wins all, so we're level pegging at the moment.
You might see him in September.
Well, hopefully.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Sheeds. That's a big effort. He made a commitment to talk to us after the game as a newsmaker. It wasn't his best night in terms of his club, but that shows a lot of character. Kevin Sheedy. And the last time he spoke to Mark Doran at the end of the match, it was a very interesting occasion. late last year, so that's terrific to see. This is a good team. There's no question about that. This team has a real chance of going all the way. Here we go. It's early days, I know, but the Saints are starting to build, aren't they? Their win tonight was very impressive. Staying in the runes for the moment. Just saw Darryl Wakeland a moment ago. We shouldn't forget his effort tonight on Matthew Lloyd to keep him to one. Dipper's in there. There's Tim with Barry Hall and Stuart Lowe. It's a great night for him. Dipper, who's down there. And I think we're about to get another interview in the Saints room. Robert, it's all yours, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much, Spy. The camera's over here, mate. You're starting to get good on you, mate. Important win from the Saints tonight, and you know, it was just a very good team effort tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, we haven't played great football, but we knew, you know, the Bombers were going to come out pretty hard, and I think we matched them in every area. They, you know, a few of their key players still got plenty of the ball, but just the pressure on them made their kicks go here, there, and everywhere.
It was a very difficult night tonight out there.
Yeah, it was. The wind changed. You know, it was going both ways, kind of thing. It's a typical MCG windy day, so you know, it was tough, but it's good to come off with the 4 points.
I thought Matthew Young in the back line and Pekka played terrific. Carried the ball through the back line tonight.
Yeah, Youngie's been great for us all year, and Pecco, he's run, you know, he's had a few different roles, and they're all playing different roles each week, but Youngie, to his credit, I thought his first half was outstanding.
And he went to Ireland with us during last year in October.
You still owe me money, you've written me off, but anyway, keep going.
But you kicked a magnificent goal there. Was that the train that we gave you in
Yeah, it was
Ireland?
definitely, back in Ireland, I had a couple of seconds there, and I thought back to how you showed me how to, you know, put the ball under my boot, and it ended up going straight through. So, you know, I was happy with that. I'll get my name in the paper tomorrow. So
Good on you, mate. Well played. Good to see you back.
Thanks, Dipper.
Yeah, well done, Dipper, there with Barry Hall. Gee, Dipper's shy and modest and retiring, isn't he? He hates to be in the spotlight. Big effort, big win, and they really did cut the Bombers to ribbons at the end. Kevin Sheedy making the point, those last 4 goals really did hurt us. So the Saints, who have Port Adelaide next week and then the State of Origin break, are looking pretty strong here at the moment. Their percentage builds, and so does their momentum. In the end, it was 13-16-94 to 7 goals, 9-51.